Hey everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already subscribed. Today we are going to be talking about manifesting, and we're going to talk about two different laws of the universe that allows you to do this. The very popular one is law of attraction, and then the second one is law of correspondence. Both of these are important to me when it comes to attracting things and manifesting things in your life, okay? So if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned, and thank you so much for clicking on this video. All right, let's get started. Now, if you're looking for the very beginning of where these laws came from, definitely make sure that you go on YouTube or go to Google, and it'll tell you like where it came from and the cultural aspects behind it. But I didn't want to get into that too much on this video because I want to get straight to the point. Y'all want to manifest, and listen, I'm here to give it to you. So we're getting straight to the point on this video. But again, I definitely encourage you to look more into it, where it came from, what people practice this. Like, it's very interesting. It's just not going to be in this video. So I do have my phone with information on here as well that I don't want to forget in the video. So if I'm looking down, that's the reason why. Okay, so let's first start with the law of attraction. Okay, so the law of attraction is basically making your goals and thoughts into reality. Okay, so if we use an example of that, let's say that you are wanting to be a millionaire. Okay, the law of attraction says that if you think that you're going to be a millionaire and you keep that thought strongly in your head, attached with emotion, then eventually you will radiate the resources for it to be implemented in your life. Okay, so it's basically an energy thing, a spiritual thing. It's saying that you believe this so much that it's going to happen, and that actually happens a lot. If you think about it, in life, it happens a lot. Like people who let me give a good example, okay? Unfortunately, I don't want to have to use this example, but it is a good example. There are celebrities who have died, right? For example, Tupac, all right? I think even Biggie as well. These are rappers. They spoke a lot in their music about dying. Some of them even spoke about how they will die, okay? If you believe something so much, it will happen, okay? It will become your reality. And these rappers who died spoke a lot about dying, and guess what? They ended up dying. And it's crazy because some rappers who even said how they was gonna die was like how they died, you know? So it's really crazy how that can happen, but that just lets you know how it's important to focus on your thoughts, okay? I'm gonna give you another example. So I think many of us have ran late somewhere. Me, when I had to drive to work, I work from home now, but when I had to drive to work, I was one of those people who ran late to work often, unfortunately. Excuse me. And what would happen is I would be like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late. And then I would start to notice, and you guys as well, I'm sure, will start to notice that traffic starts picking up. Like, you're like, oh, like, go, like, you know, the drivers go slower, the red lights are longer, you might even get pulled over by a police officer, and you're like, oh, what's next, you know? Your phone might go dead, you might run out of gas, you might need some gas, like, before you even leave. Like, what's happening is you are radiating negative energy because you implemented it, right? So as soon as you said that you were going to be late to work, guess what the universe heard? Late to work. See, you have to match the language of the universe. The universe is not going to decipher what you truly do want or not truly want. It's just going to listen to what you are focusing on, okay? It's an energy thing. So if you are literally saying you're going to be late to work, guess what the universe is hearing? Late to work. Okay, let me help you out by bringing in more traffic, by making this red light longer, by making you run out of gas. Like, you are implementing this. It's an energy thing. So it's like you're putting this energy out that you're going to be late to work. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to be late to work. Okay. Think about certain relationships when You've heard a friend, or maybe this has been you, to where you're like, oh my gosh, this person's gonna cheat on me. I know you're cheating on me. You're gonna cheat on me. Da, da. Now, this person honestly might have never cheated on you or had any ideas of cheating on you. But if you kept on saying it and kept on thinking it, then that will become reality to where they may be cheated on you. Not to blame you, however, you are responsible for what happens in your life when you speak like that. That's why I don't like people speaking over my life. My mom, and I, when I was younger, like a teenager, we did not get along very well. And she would say things that would make me mad, like, oh, you're not gonna, be this in life, and you're that, and you're this, like calling me bad names and saying this and that. And I hated it because some of the stuff that she said came true. So it's like really important to speak positive over your life and speak positive over your children. Don't be a parent who speaks negative over your children. Don't be a parent who says you'll never amount to anything. You're this, you're that. Those are spells. See, people don't think deeply like that, but this is very important. Like, you cannot sit here and speak negative over somebody else's life. You are creating a spell. That's what spells are. See, a lot of people get caught up on watching Disney movies and scary movies and thinking spells are actually when people have a skeleton and this and that. Like, now that might be certain rituals that they do, or certain tools that they do to make spells stronger. However, every witch knows, well, they should know if they're a good witch. Every witch would know that the real power of spells is how you believe them. If you don't believe in your spell, it's not going to happen. Okay? So anybody who practices any type of spell work, hoodoo, any of that kind of stuff, voodoo, any of that kind of stuff, they have to believe that it's going to happen for it to happen. Okay? So this is the same thing when it comes to law of attraction. Like, when you speak certain things over your life or other people's life, or think certain things with emotion, that is typically what will happen. That's why it's so important, guys, to switch your mindset, change your mindset, okay? If you're a natural worrier like me, I don't know if I have any other Virgos watching, but like Virgos are natural worriers. Like, we'll worry like, oh my gosh, is this person okay? Especially like with your significant other, if they're like coming home late one day and you were nervous the whole time. We tend to worry a lot. Females in general, it seems like tend to worry a lot, and you have to try to change your mindset because you don't want to think negative, because negative can happen, especially when you think with emotion, okay? And something about emotion tied to your thought is what makes it happen magically faster, okay? So let's switch that energy so it will be good. So let's think about buying a house, okay? That's a good thing, in my opinion. So when you have a goal of buying a house and you're wanting to use law of attraction to apply that, the first thing that you want to do is, of course, set the goal. So your goal is to buy a house. Okay, you set that goal. Okay, I want to buy a house. Okay, what some people do as well is they pray for it, because I know some people believe in prayer, the power of prayer. So some people pray, some people pray first before they apply the law of attraction. Some people set the goal first, then pray, whatever. Okay, but set the goal first. So if you want to buy a house, okay? Then pray for it if you prefer to pray for it, okay? So after you have set that goal or prayed, after you setting that goal, what you want to do next is apply action into it, okay? So after you set that goal, then you need to apply that action into it. Like, okay, I have the goal of I want to buy a house, but what do I need to buy the house, okay? So what you need to buy a house, well, maybe I think I need at least a 680 credit score. And it does, and I mean, buying a house depends on what kind of loan you want, and a various different things, okay? Because the FHA loan is different from a VA loan, that's different from a convenient loan. So there's a lot of different things, but definitely apply some action into it, okay? But you definitely, of course, when it comes to buying a house, you want to know specifically what you need to do for it, what kind of loan you're going for, okay? So after you have that thought, you want to apply that action. Like, okay, I need to work on my credit. Let me start working on my credit. Let me start paying off some debt, right? Now, keep in mind that even though you have that goal in your head, you're not obsessing over it. Some people who obsess over these things end up failing. You can't obsess over it. You set that goal. You could have wrote it down, whatever, but you set that goal, okay? Then prayed for it if you prayed, all right? Then you want to apply that action. Don't hold on to that thought, okay, and obsess over it. You still have that thought, but don't obsess over it. Go ahead to the next thing and start your action. Start working on your credit. Start thinking about what kind of house that you want, so you can visualize it. Like, man, oh, I think I want a 4-bedroom house that's a 2-story in a nice quiet neighborhood with a good school district, so you every once in a while you're still thinking about this goal. Like, I remember me when I wanted to when I wanted to buy my first house, I actually printed out a picture of the specific house that I wanted to get built, okay? And I definitely was able to accomplish that goal. And I might do a story on that, on my law of attraction story of getting that house. I may do that, okay? But I actually printed out a picture. So you definitely want to know what kind of house you want and be specific in that, okay? So that you can attract that. So after you start applying that action, you definitely want to get that visualization going. And some people do the visualization before the action. I usually do the action and visualize on and off with each other. But again, however you prefer it, they just all need to happen, okay? So after you start applying that action, like working on your credit and things like that, because that takes time, of course, you can start visualizing with it, okay? So what kind of house do I want? Oh, I can't wait to move into this kind of house. You're just visualizing the house every once in a while. Like, oh, I can't wait until I move into this house. And when you visualize this, you want to have emotion tied to this. How will you feel when you walk into this house? Are you going to be like, well, this is nice? No, you're going to be excited when you first walk into that house. Like, oh my gosh, I manifested this. Like, oh, this is wonderful. Like, this feels so good. This is just what I pictured. Like, you want to have that kind of emotion when you think about this house. You don't want to have negative emotions. You want to have positive emotions when you think about the house. However you will feel in that house is how you need to feel when you're thinking about it. That is what is very powerful in the law of attraction, emotion tied to the thought, okay? So as you are applying this action and practicing visualization, again, I printed out a picture for visualization. It doesn't mean that you have to. Some people do vision boards. Again, you can just print out a picture, but some people do vision boards. Some people put it as their screensaver on their phone or their laptop computer. Some people post pictures around their house, of what they're wanting to attract. But again, this has happened without people doing that. If you just want to visualize it in your mind, that's fine. But if you know that you might forget, you might just want to put a picture of it, whatever it is, house, car, money, whatever it is, up somewhere or on your phone screensaver or something, just so you can kind of see it every once in a while. Then after you have applied that action, you want to go ahead and do the final step of the action. So if it's buying a house, you want to go ahead and apply for the house. If it's buying a car, you want to go ahead and apply for that car. If it's getting accepted into a college, you want to go ahead and apply for that college, okay? So you want to go ahead and apply that final action when it comes to that goal, okay? If it does not require a final step like doing an application or something, then you're going to wait for it. Because you already done the work of putting the goal in your head, praying if you chose to pray, visualizing it, okay? And then you wait for it, okay? But if it does apply that final action, you want to do that final action, and then boom, that's when it happens, okay? But the mistakes when it comes to law of attraction is, again, if you obsess over it. There are people who fail when it comes to the law of attraction because they obsessed over it. Like, for example, somebody who does not have a lot of money and they desperately need, let's say, $1,000 to pay their rent and they don't have it and they're trying to attract it. They have to watch their thoughts and emotions when it comes to it, because that can prevent you from attracting it. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I really need $1,000. Please, God, please, God, please, I need $1,000, I need $1,000. And you're obsessing over it every single day. You guess what emotions you have tied to that? Desperate emotions. That's not on a high vibration. Remember, accomplishing goals and dreams like money, house, material things, spiritual growth, physical health, like positive things that you determine positive, that's on a high vibration when it comes to you. Okay, so if you are sad and moping and crying, all of that, that's on a low vibration. So you're going to attract low vibration things. You have to be on a high vibration if you want to attract high vibration things. And if you do what I just told you to do when applying the law of attraction, you will attract that. You don't want to obsess over the goal. You want to set the goal, set the intention, and then you want to keep moving forward towards that goal. Okay. Law of attraction is not good when you rush the process either. You want to let it happen at a time and the timing it's supposed to happen, because if you rush it, it might not work and it might not come out how you want it to come out. Okay. I will tell you guys, if you are trying to attract money, a certain amount of money, like $1,000, you also don't want to say specifically how you want it, okay? Because that can hold up the process. So let's say that this person is like, I want to attract $1,000 by hitting the lottery. Okay, that might take a longer time for that person to accomplish that, instead of just saying, I need and want to attract $1,000. Because a person can literally knock on their door and give them $1,000. They can get it by getting 10 different people to give them $100. They can get it by getting 2 different people to give them $500. They could hit the lottery with $500 and then somebody give them $500. Like, you want to allow the universe to give you those different options and opportunities of getting that $1,000. So I've heard people make those mistakes to where they're too specific in how they're wanting to get that money, and then that prevents the law of attraction from working and being the law of attraction. Like, you'll get it in all kinds of ways if you allow it to, and it will be a faster process. I remember specifically when I was trying to attract, I don't know if I had a specific amount of money, but I know that I specifically prayed and set the intention of trying to attract money. I can't remember if I said a certain amount. I just said it that I needed some extra money or whatever, because I think a bill hit me or something and I wasn't expecting it and I needed some extra money. I've been praying about it, and I remember staying positive about it, and I just didn't focus on it after that, right? I had that thought and intention in my head, but I didn't stay like obsessing over it or anything like that. I just knew that eventually I would get it. So, kid you not, I want to say it was either starting that night or the next day, to where I do tarot readings. So I literally had like maybe 10-15 people hit me up, and I made like $200 in a day just doing tarot readings. And I was like, and remind you, like, my rate for tarot readings is pretty low. Like, I don't charge expensive amounts for tarot reading, in my opinion. So I just knew that that was the work of the universe, because that's not regularly how I do tarot readings. Like, I do tarot reading like as a hobby part-time. So I don't just do a whole bunch of clients in a day, but I had, like, specifically since I knew that I didn't need the money, I was like, man, where's all these people coming from? And then I remembered that I did ask for it and I did pray for it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Shout out to you, universe. Okay. So again, you don't want to put like any type of real specifics on how you receive things. You can be specific in what you want. Like, you want a 4-bedroom house, 2-story 4-bedroom, 2-story house, you can say that. If you want to attract a partner and you want them to look a specific way, you can say that. You just don't want to be specific in how you receive it. Another example of that, again, is let's say that you want to attract your soulmate, right? But you're like, God, universe, I want to attract my soulmate by running into them at the store tomorrow. You might not attract your soulmate that way because you're being too specific on that. You want to allow the universe to magically happen when it comes to allowing you to attract your soulmate, okay? So that's very, very important, you guys. Don't be specific on how you receive the things. Let the universe give it to you. You can run into your soulmate outside walking your dog. You can run into your soulmate maybe going out to a bar one night, or traveling one day on vacation, or at our work, you know. So don't be too specific. Just be specific on what you want, but not how you get it, if that makes sense. So I hope that makes sense, because it definitely can limit how you receive things, and that can hold up the process, or not allow the process at all. Okay. So I'm going to get into law of correspondence. Okay. But just to recap on law of attraction, you want to make sure you set the goal and intention in your head first of what you are wanting. Okay. Next, you want to pray, okay? If you choose to pray, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody to pray, because some people don't want to. That's fine. It works either way. But if you are a spiritual person who connects with God, the universe, whoever, you want to go ahead and pray, okay? So you set that goal, then you pray about it. After you pray about it, then you want to go ahead and move to the action, okay? Or you can move to visualizing it. Whichever one you want to do first is fine, but I kind of feel like these two correspond with each other. But go ahead and apply that action, okay? If you're wanting to attract a brand new car, a certain kind of car, you want to go ahead and start working on your credit, okay? If your credit is low, are working on paying off your old car, you know, whatever action is needed to get that goal, you want to go ahead and start doing it. If it's college, a certain college that you're wanting to go to, then you want to go ahead and start looking into what requirements you need for that college. Do you need to order your transcripts? Like, do you need to take a certain test, what's called ACT test? I ain't did this in a while, y'all. I've been worried about that kind of stuff in a while, but y'all know what I mean. SATs, the other kind of tests, whatever. Go ahead and start applying that kind of action that you're needed, okay? Then you want to visualize. What will it look like? Okay, if you're wanting this brand new car, what does it look like? What color does it look like? What does it smell like? What does it feel like when you drive in it? Okay, you want to go ahead and visualize all these things, like, ooh, I can't wait to get in this car. Make sure when you're visualizing, you have that emotion tied to it. Like, are you going to be mopey when you get in the car? Like, this is a nice car. No. If you attract that dream car, you're going to be excited. Like, oh my gosh, this is my car. It feels so good. I imagined this and I attracted it. You're going to be excited. So make sure you have that same emotion tied to that thought and that visualizing, okay? Especially when you're visualizing. Your visualizing is like one of the most important parts of law of attraction, besides believing it, okay? So you want to make sure that you have that emotion tied into the visualization, okay? Again, if you want to print out a picture of the car, print out a picture. If you just want to have it in your mind, you can have it in your mind. It still works. If you want to set it up as a screensaver on your laptop, computer, your phone, people have done that. People have done vision boards, like whatever you want to do. If you want to have that up visually, go ahead and do it. But like I said, you don't have to have pictures of it if you don't want to. You can just have it in your mind for it to work as well, or you can do both, okay? After you get done visualizing it, if you need to apply that final action, like actually applying for the car, then make sure you apply for the car. Applying for the house, make sure you apply for the house. Applying for the college, make sure you apply for that college. If it does not require a final action, like for example, like attracting a soulmate, for example, that obviously doesn't require a final action. What you're going to do is just wait. You skip the final action part and you just wait. Wait for it to happen. Do not obsess over it. Wait for it to happen. It will happen. And most importantly, because I don't think I brought this up just a minute ago, most importantly, make sure you believe that it will happen. Okay? Believe that it will happen and let it go. Do not obsess over it. Again, please do not obsess over it, because it will not work, or it will hold you up from the process. Just believe that it's going to happen. Believe that it's already yours. Believe that that person is already yours, and let go of it. Move forward. Okay, do not obsess over it. Go on about your life, okay? And keep working towards things that you're wanting to work towards, okay? If you have to keep working towards your credits, keep working towards your credit. Do not obsess over this, okay? So that is law of attraction. So I hope that you guys can understand that. I do want to talk about law of correspondence shortly. Law of correspondence is as within, so without, or as above, so below. Basically, this is a energetic thing of whatever you implement inside of you is what you attract on the outside of you. So it's very similar to law of attraction. However, it kind of more corresponds to what you are is what is around you. Okay. So for example, if you are a person who has a bad attitude and you know you have a bad attitude, you refuse to change it or anything like that, then don't be surprised that if somebody comes around you with a bad attitude, like a waitress or your child or a family member or a friend or a coworker, a manager, that's just the same energy that you're giving out. So you have to really pay attention to that when it comes to attracting things, okay? If you know that you're an ugly person, don't expect beautiful things to come to you, okay? If you're ugly, expect ugly things to come to you, okay? And that's just honestly the truth. I know that a lot of you guys have probably heard the popular saying, you are what you attract. That's very true. You literally are what you attract. Okay. So if you have let's say that you've been in relationships all your life and you keep attracting cheaters, it's because something within you has low self-confidence or don't believe that you deserve anything more, or something within you automatically believes and thinks that people are going to cheat, which kind of taps into law of attraction. Okay. That's why it's really important to pay attention to your thoughts again in law of attraction. Okay. So whatever is within you is what reflects on the outside. So it's very important to work on your inner self, and that's going to require inner work. Sorry, my low battery popped up. That's going to require a lot of inner work. That's going to require shadow work for some of you guys, but you have to really remember that if you're wanting to attract good things in your life, then guess what? You need to be a good person, okay? You need to practice gratitude. If you're one of those people who like complains all the time, like, oh, I hate my partner, I hate my car, I hate the home I live in, then guess what that is? That's ugly energy. So you might start attracting more ugly energy in your life. You have to practice gratitude, appreciate what you have. Appreciate having at least a warm place to lay your head down at night. Appreciate having food to eat when some people don't have that option. Appreciate even having a car. It might not be the newest model, might not be a brand new car, but guess what? It's a car. Even if you have a ride, be glad you have a ride. Some people have to walk, okay? Appreciate simple things like being able to see, being able to hear, okay? Especially if you don't gotta wear your glasses or contacts and you have 20/20 vision. Listen, I just went to the eye doctor. Was that yesterday? Yesterday. And it's expensive, especially without insurance, okay? So be appreciative of stuff like that. Being able to even see, okay? Being able to hear. You might not like your job, but you have a job, okay? Gratitude is very important when it comes to attracting things, guys. So again, that's what law of correspondence is all about. It's like whatever's on the inside will reflect your outside. So if you have noticed that a lot of people around you are like shady or fake, or you can't seem to find somebody who's genuine around you, that's something, that's something that's within you that's attracting that. That's your mirror reflection, okay? That's qualities on the inside of you that attracts your circle, okay? Now, of course, even if you're a good person, it does not mean that you won't still have somebody fake or faulty around you, because unfortunately that just happens with life. But I'm talking about patterns of it, people. I'm talking about multiple people that's faulty around you. Like, that's something within you, okay? If you're attracting the same kind of relationships, like this person keeps cheating, or you keep attracting people who's cheating on you, that's something that's within you. So that's very important to remember with the law of correspondence. That's as above, so below, as within is without, okay? So make sure that your energy is good. If you're giving out bad energy, that's what you will receive. So if people is out here asking you like, hey, can I borrow $5? And it doesn't mean you always have to give people money, but if you truly have it to give, you should give so that you can get that back in return, okay? But if you don't have it, you don't have it. But I'm just saying, when you do have it, give it. Okay. Don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people use you. But if somebody truly needs your help, guess what? All of that energy that's out there is not going unnoticed. I promise you that. Karma is real. And I might talk about the law of karma, which could be called something else. I might speak about that too in one of the videos coming soon. But just remember that, people. So I did want you guys to remember law of attraction, law of correspondence. So just sum up, law of correspondence is going to be whatever is the energy that's inside of you is the energy that's going to reflect your outside. So again, if you are a bad person or you have bad flaws, you might see that bad energy and bad flaws around you, because that's what energy is radiating out of you. That's going to be your reflection around you. So I hope that makes sense. So that was my video of how to manifest things with the law of attraction and also the law of correspondence, guys. It's definitely a spiritual thing. It's definitely an energetic thing. It's not that hard, in my opinion, but you know, I know some people might not understand it. But if you have any questions about it, make sure you comment below. Again, if you're wanting to understand the cultural aspects of where this came from and all of that, you can go on Google, you can go on YouTube, and people do talk about that, okay? These are only like 2 laws of the laws of the universe. There's multiple laws, okay? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I will be coming up with more content like this. If you look on my channel now, I have mostly videos about tarot reading. I have some spirituality videos, but I have a lot of tarot readings because I do those every single week. Pick a card. So if you are into tarot reading, make sure you check out my channel, because I do pick a card readings every week where you pick a card, and it can be regarding career finances. This can be regarding what your spirit guides have for you. I do a lot of loved ones, what they are thinking. So definitely stay tuned to my channel. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching that video. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks, guys.